give it a few for some people to come in. How about those Phillies? We're going to the World Series, my friends. Philadelphia Phillies. So, happy Sunday. Welcome to Bake a Leg and Let's Dig It Homestead. Now we just gotta... Hello, Chris. How are you? Oh, my hair is so wet. Anyway. Can you hear me and see me fine? Good. Figured I would just put it in the title. Why not? Okay. So. This is Mr. Garden State Garden. I don't have my watch on. Good and tired. I've been up since 5 o'clock in the morning. Are you kidding me? And I did a ton yesterday. A ton of things. Obviously. And like I was going to say, I guess Mr. Garden State Gardener is still going. I think I should start going on at 9:05. Something like that. So how is everything? How was your fun extra day at work that you picked up? Because you're the only one in here right now that I can see. This ear. Hello, Paul Honeyman from England. How are you, my friend from over the pond? How are you feeling? Happy Sunday. I have like soaked hair because Philadelphia Phillies were here playing and they made it. Now they're going to the World Series. Just figured I'd put it in my title. Might change it after the fact. But I made it on time. Hello, Mr. Oh my goodness. I was up since 5 o'clock. Hi, Voon. How are you, sweetheart? Feeling tired, you? Yes. I went to bed like probably a little after 1. Long day yesterday. And on Friday. And woke up at 5 o'clock this morning. Like, what the heck? I was in pain for one. And I don't know, I just woke up. So I'm doing the best I can do. Is anyone else buffering or is it just me? Ooh. Yeah, check that out. Because it was only me and Chris in here. I figured Mr. Garden State Gardener is still going. So can everyone hear and see me fine? Chris says, it's you, Voon. Ooh, don't pick on Voony. Just you, Voon. Oh, Paul said it too. I don't know, Voon. What's going on with that? Hey, Voon, can you tell me what kind of squash this is? Grew it, and I have no idea. I'm like totally stumped. She says mercy. So yeah, so a lot of partying going on here and fireworks going on, and my older son called me crying, Mom, we're going to the World Series. I'm like, I know, I watched it. I'm like, are you crying again? My Jared says he always cries. No one picks on Voon unless it's me. No, you're not allowed to pick on Voon. I don't even pick on Voon. Are you kidding me? Voon is the bomb diggity. Voon, do you have the capabilities of sharing this out for me? I will explain why I'm not on my laptop momentarily. And does anyone know if Mr. Garden State Gardener is still alive? But I hope everyone had a good weekend. Hit the thumbs up on your way in. Thank you, Paul. So I don't know, because Voon had to refresh. Voon, do you have any idea what kind of squash this is? Remember I said don't put all your squash in one basket? Like, don't put all your eggs in one basket? Yeah, I don't know. I dropped a bunch of seeds, including your curry one, and I have no idea what it is. Ouch. A yummy squash. I thought you would know, girl. Just to help me out. Look at this. Look at these acorn squashes. Good evening, Hobby Garden for Health. Happy Sunday. How are you? We weren't sure if Mr. Garden State Gardener was still going, and I was trying to ask Boone if she knew what kind of squash this was that I planted. I have another one, but yeah, I don't remember what it is, folks. So this and my butternut squash is in my picture, but I had to kind of, do it like this to hold it because it's a heavy one, per usual. You've been dipping into the Jolly Green Giant's underpants again, Melody. Oh, Paul, you silly thing. So how are you, Hobby Garden for Health? Happy Sunday. Hope you're well. That's what I feel like. And I see these random pop-ups. Like people are going live, it's saying like random pop-ups. So what did you do this weekend? I feel like my live's starting off like slow. Doreen, we need to talk. Don't go anywhere. Oh my goodness, I'm so glad to see you because I had a slight little discrepancy. Wait till you hear what happened to me. But hi, Doreen. Happy Sunday. Welcome in, welcome in. Don't mind my wet head, but World Series bound, and I had to take a shower. She says, oh no. Yeah, I guess we'll get to that now, won't we? Oh, I don't know what happened, girl. It's probably me, but I'll tell you. Look at these two beauties that I made from my fresh rosemary out of the garden, which this is coming out in a video on how to keep fresh herbs fresh and alive during the holidays. And it's exactly like this. And you change the water every like 2-3 days, but these are taller, so I don't know about the back of my fridge, but I usually use the size jar, pint size jar with herbs, and you just put it in the back of the refrigerator, cold water, change it every 2 to 3 days, any of your herbs, including sage, and you will have it throughout the whole holiday. So stay tuned for that video, since I gave you just a little tidbit. Hello, Miss Andale. Happy Sunday. How are you? Hello, Mel. I'm lurking tonight. Just got home from the Grants. Oh, did you have fun? I hope. I was trying to ask Boone if she knows. Miss Andale, you have the capabilities. Can you share this live out? I'm not on my laptop again. I did try to reach out to see if someone could help me to go live. I don't know, it's like set up different now with YouTube, and I was like struggling. I worked on it for like 3 hours. Then I was going into StreamYard and I was going to try that. And then it said I didn't have any hours, so I had to contact the company to be like, I don't even use your StreamYard. I should have just as many free hours a month as everyone else. So yeah, I had to deal with that, and she said she fixed it, and she didn't. So thank you, love. I really do appreciate it, because usually people will tell me X amount of time later that they're just getting my live. And I figured Mr. Joe was running over by a few. But happy Sunday, Miss Andale, and thank you for doing that for me. Greatly appreciate it. But yeah, so gorge, right? So this is rosemary from, let me think, multiple rosemaries this year. This is the rosemary from the bush that was planted in the grounds. Hopefully it lives all winter. And this is the one that is from out of my kitchen herb garden. So I'm going to do the same thing with sage, same technique, same with thyme, but obviously, I mean, put thyme in a smaller jar. And as you can see, there's no leaves at the bottom because I harvested them and they're drying. But if you want them to last throughout the holidays, you have to remove the leaves off the bottom. I've liked and shared. Thank you, Miss Andale. I greatly appreciate it. You are a doll. Where'd Moon go? Hope everyone had a great weekend, says Chris. Hobby garden for health. You want to take a guess? What kind of squash is this? Miss Andale, hobby garden for health. I don't even remember. But I did plant so many different squashes in that bed that I don't know. I don't know, my friends. That's a fat daddy right there. I did get quite a bit. I harvested squash, butternut squash, acorn squash. This is a pretty big one. This is decent size. And then my other big one. Well, there's lots of big ones on this table. It looks like I specifically decorated for fall with all the squashes everywhere. My Jared came over and he said, "Welcome to Produce Junction." So, yeah, they're gorgeous, aren't they? I don't know where my other one. Oh, it's over there. But yeah, very, very good. So I'm going to keep them for storage because I have some small ones. I'll use them up first. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 butternut squashes. So not too shabby. And 2 of these. Now, if I'm not mistaken, you can correct me if I'm wrong, but Cinderella pumpkins can come in white and I heard different colors. So, ta-da! What do you think? Hopefully I cut it at the right. No major marks except that one little mark right there, but not too bad. So, lots of squash. I wanted it to be the squash here, so that's going to work out for me. Let's see. I'm having internet problems. Oh no, Boone. Busy weekend canning barbecue pork now. Ooh, that sounds yummy. Is that a Cushaw? The one with the stripes? I'm trying to ask y'all because I obviously don't have the seed pack any longer. I think it was sent to me, so that's why I'm trying to guess. And do you know what the flesh would be like? Is it going to be like pumpkin or, like a squash? Because I'm not ready to cut it open yet. I have 2 of these. Let me grab this other one right here. Got to get up, walk away per usual. So this one isn't quite as big. I mean, not bad. Yes, I'm repping Phillies again tonight. Yeah, so there they are. I got 2 of them. They were buried in that squash bed. So, I don't know. So Doreen is saying, is that a Cushaw? Cushaw? Am I saying that right? The one with the stripes. I hope you can tell me because I'm dying to know because then I can save the seeds and I can share them. Let's see. Oh, Looney. Honestly, don't know what kind of squash it is, Melody. Thank you, Vin. According to Google, the green stripe looks like a buttercup squash. This one right here? I don't know, folks. I'm baffled. And I did try looking around to see if I had something of remnants left from planting in spring, and I didn't think I was going to get anything more, really, to be honest with you. And then back near the the back bed near the tomatoes, this vine was going awful crazy. I kept saying to Debbie, "Oh, I think that's the meat squash," which I'm stumped on that now too, because I kept saying, everyone, if I can recommend a squash for you to grow, it's the meat squash. But I saw a strange picture today that was saying the Jardel. Listen, it looks very familiar to it, so I don't know. But all I know is just like, it's my newfound love is these. You know that for sure. So I have a couple up here. So lots of squash. But, if I want to save the seeds, I kind of need to know what they are. Um, According to Google, the green stripe looks like a butternut squash. I think the shape is different with a cushaw. So this isn't a cushaw? Sorry to bug you, but it's a pretty squash. That is true. Hobby Garden for Health. I'm sure it's going to taste yummy. Yeah, I was wondering what the inside flesh is going to be like. Buttercup winter squash, kind of, sort of. I don't know. I don't know, Miss Andale. I don't know. No matter what squash it is, it's pretty. Oh, thanks, Foon. So yeah, I've seen people probably yellowish orange, Lefella. So some squashes are all in the pumpkin family, you know? At least that's what I think. I like my butternut squash. Another one I planted that I am not, I didn't see any at all, was that honey butternut. I didn't see that out there, but really surprised about this. Oops, might have an avalanche. Really surprised about this one though. Not too shabby. I'm looking forward to it. I know some people will use their squashes or pumpkins for decorating, and then they'll eat them. But I don't think I want to put it outside. I'm not really decorating for Halloween this year. Normally I do, but I'm just too busy. I still have a gazillion and, a gazillion million things to do. Very pretty pumpkin. Thank you. But I went to go get the chickens a bag of kale while I was there, because this is the one thing I didn't grow. But I wanted to get this, and not for a jack-o'-lantern, but I wanted to get a good, decent pumpkin, because what I'm thinking about doing is, just nice like that. I would have to think back of how I did it some years ago. I guess I cut it in half and I cleaned it all out and then peeled the skin off and boiled it and I must have got like 30 pumpkin pies out of like my one. So I was contemplating it, but it's not 100% yet. And then for Halloween, falls on a Sunday. So I will probably do a Halloween thing here like I did last year, like Halloween trivia, and maybe I'll dress up. We'll see. Which pumpkin? Hobby Garden for Health. What kind of pumpkin is that? This big one down here? I have no idea. It just said pumpkin. I grabbed that and kale and ran out the door real quick. It's a pretty pumpkin. The first flat looking pumpkin. I thought this was called a Cinderella pumpkin, but I thought Cinderella pumpkins only grow white. So that's why I'm asking you for squash help tonight. Squash, pumpkin help. I don't know. Hi, Jerry Riggs It. How are you? Happy Sunday. Welcome in. Welcome in. Yeah, so I think it's a beaut. It's pretty, and I'm thankful. I did have to take one off early, whether it's a meat squash, which I'm sure it probably is. The chickens found it for me, and they started to peck, but it didn't go all the way through because I was letting them in the garden. You could see their little pecks, and still no eggs as of right now. No eggs still. So I don't know what's going on. I'm doing everything humanly possible other than squeeze them and shake them up and down for an egg. That's cool. Never seen one. I've seen on Becky's channel, Acre Homestead, that would be. I think I saw a white one, and on another channel, a Cinderella pumpkin. So I'm assuming that's what that is. Tried, but we got a lot of firewood split this wood. That's awesome, Jerry. I have half a cord out there. Tried the wood burning stove again the other night because it was a little chilly. And I was up. Listen, Friday and Saturday I did nothing but clean, nonstop. My Jared's here currently. And I put it on Friday because I was trying to get some preserving done and I still have so much more to do. And by the time I went to bed, the thermostat was saying 85 degrees in here from that wood burning stove. So He's supposed to be looking for like another half because I had a full quart and I had it over at Thomas's, but he's gonna have to try to get more in order for it to last us for the winter. But I think it works pretty good though. Splitting wood, stacking wood is a lot of work. So, is Doreen still in here? I saw Doreen's short. I don't know if y'all checked that out, where she was doing the chicken legs in the jar. And I watched it and I commented and everything. And then I went back in and I commented and I'm like, Halloween cannot come soon enough for me this year. Why? Last year I was what? A butterfly and kept saying, oh, God only knows what I was saying I was. But that was fun. If you're interested in that, we could do that again. A lot of people were saying they had a good time. But back to Doreen. So she did chicken legs in a jar. I asked her how long and she said 90 minutes. And I had ordered some jars through the mail from Walmart just a little bit back. And I was like, well, the jars look funny. It just says ball. It doesn't have no fancy design, nothing like that. And I rewatched it multiple times, 90 minutes for quarts. Yep. So this is what had happened to me. I'm thinking I had a factory defect because I did six, 3 legs in a jar, quart-sized jar. That's all that I could fit because they were pretty fat and I found them at a good price. So 90 minutes, pressure drop, all that type of stuff. The one in the middle, I heard like a type of noise and I'm like, uh-oh, right? So that's the first thing. And then I realized, I can guarantee when I pull that jar up, you can usually tell when it's a factory defect because it just will split the bottom like evenly. All right, so here we go. Let me show you. Here is chicken legs in a jar. That's what my liquid looks like. That's what the chicken looks like. Right there. Right there. She says looks fine. Okay. And then one more. Right here. And the reason why you only see 3 when I did 6 is because one, the bottom, like right here, just this bottom part completely just fell right out. So that had to have been a factory defect. And then pulled them out. It was late. Left them on the counter. The next day, 2 of them didn't seal. And I didn't bother to re-pressure can them. I just, hopefully this is safe. You can tell me this or not. I didn't bother to re-pressure can them. I found it immediately. Like 2 of them were making that click noise. And I just put it, because it's caulked, it's in there, right? So I figured my roommate could eat it. And I put it in a Ziploc baggie so I didn't waste it. But if that's wrong, let me know, because I'll just take it out of the refrigerator and get rid of it. I've never canned chicken legs. I was inspired by a great woman, Doreen's Food Prep and Resource. So not Doreen's fault. I just wanted her to see that I tried, and I wanted her to see and make sure that everything was done properly. Exactly 3. Did you get 3 in your jar, Doreen? Let's see. Oh my gosh, you poor thing. I can't imagine. Wait, what's he saying? Oh yeah, I would be going nuts. So I'm good. Okay. And the chicken that was in the 2 jars that I noticed the next morning, that was making that goofy noise, that it wasn't sealed, I put in a Ziploc baggie. So is that safe? So yeah. So that's different. And then I felt a little bugged out afterwards because I only ever did pork. Like my first thing of meat that I did was pork loin. And when I saw the legs, I was just like, oh, I just don't know. But yeah, when I had to get the one out of the jar, it was making that type of noise. And it was falling right off the bone completely. So 2 jars, it didn't seal. I put the liquid and the chicken Ziploc baggie. Let's see. I got 5 in each jar. You did? Really? I was having a hard time, like even trying to squeeze like a fourth one in because I don't know if you could see, but the legs are like, they were on sale. I think I got a whole big pack and they were like 6 something. And they were fat daddies, let me tell you. Some I put in the freezer, some I obviously wanted to try and have at least 6 jars um, stable for on the shelf. But things happen. But let me show you the jar if you can't really probably see. These are the last 3 that I have to wash off because today I've just been exhausted. As you can see, the jar is like so plain. There's no like decorative like ball anything. It just says ball on it. And yeah. What is that? Am I hallucinating? Where's my napkin? I did do a video on it, so you can judge and tell me exactly what I did wrong. I thought that was a crack. Do you see that right there? A little bit, folks, but I don't think it is. It's the liquid in the inside. So I did do that. And I was a little surprised that, I had a jar break. It's my first jar that broke though, since I started pressure canning. Let's see. Mine were pretty fat. Really? I was trying to squeeze it in there and I'm like, I better not, I better just get the 3 in there. Should be safe. Just eat within 4 or 5 days. Okay, because that'll be for Jimmy to pick at. Hi, Erin. How are you? Happy Sunday, darling. Welcome in. Welcome in. I hope you're well. The legs look good. Do they, Miss Andale? Yeah, I was a little scared, but I don't know. I think I grew some kahunas. And I saw her thing, and I'm like, should I try? But that might be a better shot. Like, they're pretty wide and fat, so I could only get, I'm pretty sure, yeah, it was 3 per quart size jar. No liquid. Added the salt. Put them in, did the whole vent thing, and then did it for 90 minutes exactly. Waited for it to come down in pressure. Put it there. By that time, it was time for bed. Got up the next day, went to check them. Well, I had to clean up from the one that broke, obviously, to make your pot all greasy. I had to clean that out, throw that jar out into the trash. And Jimmy was even like looking at that because I don't think he's ever seen like a jar that broke. And I said, usually when it breaks like that at the bottom, where this part falls right out, it's usually a factory defect, at least from my experience. So that was unfortunate. But I also have 3 shelf-stable jars of chicken legs to put up on the shelf. So thank you, Doreen. I just wanted you to judge me and tell me how I did. And if it looks okay and safe and it's sealed, these 3 need to be washed though. So I did do that. Made a little video on it. And yeah. So stay tuned for that. 3 fat parts pointing towards the bottom and 2 pointing up in the jar makes sense. Oh, I put all the with the bone up. Did I do that wrong? So I did 3 legs. They were so fat. I mean, they were like big chicken legs. So I could only fit 3. And then the leg part was up. Is that okay? That's gelatin. Okay. It happens sometimes. There's a weak spot in a jar. Yep. How you doing, Erin? Yeah, and they're getting paid for that, Paul, to stand around. Wow, it's crazy. 12 midnight to 8 a.m. What is your opinion on canning cream of soup chicken mushroom? You might need to ask Doreen that question or Miss Andale that are in here because remember, I'm the newbie pressure canner and I'm just trying my hand at some meat. But at least it'll give me 2 things on the shelf. I think that's better than what some newbie pressure canners would do. But I try to step out of my comfort zone and try something new. And then I just needed to know, once you get it out, what would you do? Pull it off the bone? Like, how would you cook it? No, that's just how I got 5 in a jar. Oh, okay. She says, I'm fine. Okay. Home canning, that is. Hello, Gavin Mason, saying, hi, my mom. Hi, sweetheart. How are you? Everyone say hello to G-Man. That is my 16-year-old grandson who whacked his knee or something on the floor at school the other day. And man, it was all swollen. He had to go home. And so, yeah, hanging in there. Well, that's good, Erin. The meat doesn't look great in the jars, but it sure does taste good. Does it, Boone? I don't know, because I'm like bugging out a little bit. Just a little bit. And then I just figured I would just ask once you get it out of the jar, because I noticed when I had to dump the one jar out, well, the two that didn't seal, I was shaking it, shaking it, and shaking it, and it kind of didn't want to come out, and then it did, and it was just kind of falling right off the bone. So I guess you could do what? Like barbecue chicken, or not really sure. The grand baby is here, Melody. I know. That's Gavin Mason. Oh, yeah. Usually for anything that's cream related, Erin, it's usually a big fat no. Chicken broth, but anything that has like a cream base in it that I've read doesn't suggest to be pressure canned. But I see your rubbers too. Just curious because I just trust in this group. Yeah, well, that's Doreen's Food Prep and Resource. I just call her Doreen. Has a whole lot more knowledge. So does Miss Andale than me, especially when it comes to cream products. I've never pressure canned anything that was a cream product. And this is really my second time just trying a little bit of meat. But I'm glad you trust us. I've not canned anything creamy. Sorry, be sure to check your book. Yeah, do you have a book, Erin? Chicken and rice, chicken and noodles used in salads or casseroles. Okay. Well, thank you. So a big shout out. You can thank Doreen for this and her. I will tag her in the video, but you can thank her shorts video for that. Just gave me the courage. Like, I just went shopping. Well, that's what I'll do. And that's what I did. Thank you, Boone. I know Gavin's on here. Let's go, Phillies. I know they won. So, Gavin, while you're on here, happy Halloween. But tell your mom I got you and Adeline the Halloween ones this year. Let's say the tag. Since you guys seem to really like it. This is the Halloween pasta with no artificial flavors by that Reggiano. So you guys should like it. Spiders, pumpkins, all kinds of bats, all kinds of things are in there. So you got your own bag and I got Adeline. And then I got you some candy. So yeah. And Mom seems to get a kick out of it. She seems to like it, especially when I do the like when I did the Easter pasta. So I saw them when I was out and grabbed just each a bag. Because I just love you to pieces. I'm new to pressure canning, so I go by the book still. I am too. Hi, Vandal the Land. I'm really new to pressure canning too. I look in the book, but I have to be honest, I think I more so go to someone that I know that has experience and will ask them before I go in the book, really, to be honest with you. So I have a bunch of beans out there that I have to deal with. I'm just going to re-rinse them and I'm going to put them in the refrigerator because I don't have time to get to them right now. But in case you're just getting in and you want to be able to preserve some of your herbs for the holidays, rosemary, sage, thyme is what I've always done. I can't say that I've done parsley for that long of a time, but strip the leaves from the bottom and then put it in the back of your refrigerator, mason jar. Change the water every 2-3 days consecutively, don't forget, and you will have gorgeous fresh herbs for over the winter. So I have this as a starter. There was a lot on the bottom of these stems, so that's out there drying. And next I'm going to do the same thing with some sage and thyme if I didn't butcher it all already, because I didn't get to the time to put it in a jar right away like I did the rosemary. But rosemary smells so good and I just love it. How are you, Vandal Land? You're not at Walmart tonight? Yes, crisp and pan maybe for the legs. Okay, great. Thank you, Doreen. Good evening, Melody. Good evening, Vandal Land. Happy Sunday. I just don't think I have the courage yet, Doreen, to do your bacon. I think that's going to be it. Probably, I'm probably never going to do ground meat because everybody just says it's really gross. So, I mean, that kind of like turned me off to try that, but I'm going to do some other chicken. I have chicken that's frozen in my fridge. I want to get that out, and I want to pressure can that so that when I need just some quick chicken, like breast or whatever, because I think I have a lot of breast in there. So I'm definitely going to get to that to try to make some more room in my freezer. Thank you, Mandel Homestead. See, that is my opinion. I have read all the books, but some, if these YouTubers are doing it, I don't want botulism. Never do anything creamed, ever. And what do they say? I mean, I know, because I'll be honest with you, it's a little scary. Eating your own stuff for the first time, like, am I going to kill my family? If it's something that gets warmed up, I've seen this on a lot of different canning sites. They're like, as soon as it comes to a boil, as long as the jar is safe and you open it and you boil it for a good 10 minutes, it wouldn't have botulism on it anyway. But that's what I saw. Because I don't know. That might prevent me from opening a jar because these other canners are going to freak me out. Just keeping it real. Let's go surfing instead, says Paul. No. The Philadelphia Phillies haven't been there. Well, technically 2000, they made it 2011, but it was 2009. That was huge for me and my sons. Great experience. And of course, Johnny, my older one's out, and you can hear all the cars honking, and he's like, Mom, we're going to the World Series. And I'm like, I know, I'm so excited. I was watching it. And you can hear him, and I'm like, are you crying? Because Johnny gets very sensitive, and he was like, yeah, I know, I was thinking of Uncle Lou. So I repeated it to Jared, and I said, I don't know, I thought Lou was more of an Eagles fan. And he said, no, he was just as much baseball. And I was like, all right, because that's like it's a me, Johnny, and Jared thing with baseball. I was their coach every baseball game. You know how that goes. So super excited that they won, because my nerves can't take these close call types of things. And yeah, I'm excited that they're going. So I wore red last week, and this one is my gray one that has the Philadelphia Phillies. I think this was from Pink, the store. But just a 411. Brett Harper is my favorite player. Go look at him. So yeah, excited about that. Thank you, Mel. You are so, Doreen, you're like an inspiration. Thank you. And I don't know. I was just like, ooh, I hope she's in the live tonight, because I want to show her what I did. And have her look it over real thoroughly. Make sure I did everything okay. And to tell you, my 2 didn't seal. I don't know why that would have happened. I went around it and around it with the vinegar, but it just didn't seal. So that's that. So that would have been what? 3, 6, 9, because 1 jar broke. That is so true, Miss Andale. You are already a rebel canner, from veggies to meat in 0.5 seconds. Laugh out loud at Bake a Leg. Voon, no, I'm not, because rebel canners aren't, that's different, right? Rebel canners won't do things by the book. You know who I've been watching? Don't judge. She is a very nice person. I'm just observing, because I did something last year that could have been considered rebel canning, which was the open kettling method on some peppers. Some didn't seal, some did. I got it from Simple Living Alaska. And then this year she said some of her seals take, some of them don't. So she drops it in a water bath canner for like 5 minutes just to get that extra seal. To me, that's being a little bit of a rebel canner, but I've been looking at Make It Make, her channel. She lives with the Amish, and they teach her all these tricks. And you know, you can water bath can for 6 hours of something. So good for her, because I think, well, she does both. But I think she's just bringing to the forefront. She did take a lot of heat for it, but she's just bringing it to the forefront that this is how people did it for years and years and years before pressure canners were even invented. And I'm sure that's true. But for me, no, I can't step outside that box. This was stepping outside my comfort zone right here, and I'm just proud that I took the chance and did it. You know what I mean? So yeah, if you haven't checked her out, her channel is Make It Make. But that's what I consider to be a rebel canner. Cool pasta. I know, aren't they cute for the kids? Because you know, Boom, you saw the Easter ones and everything, and my daughter made pasta salad out of the one. This is a pretty big bag. It might not look like it on screen. It's a 17.6 ounce bag. Just fun, because my granddaughter is going to be 3 in January. Gavin's 16, but, you know, a kid who likes food. So it's a win-win right there, you know. And then whatever, I'll just get Gavin some candy, but I won't get Adeline any candy. And yes, better safe than sorry. Yep. That's true too, Paul. Paul, I'm going to read his comment. I've always found it easier to learn from being shown how to do it than reading how to do it. That is so true. That's what helped me with my sourdough starter from Pam. And beans. I mean, I had to keep, like, how many minutes do I do it for? You know, that initial being scared, and then you just kind of get over it. Now I just ask Alexa, how long do I pressure can my beans for, so I can have her set the timer. But you know, I'm learning, you know, and I think it was, oh, what is that channel? She has a channel on YouTube, but she also is really on Instagram. Maple Ranch. She's in British Columbia. She said somebody told her that if you don't get that psst, like that when you're pulling the jar lid off, don't even take a chance and throw it out. But I feel like if I'm shown how to do it or somebody walks me through it, I have a lot more confidence. Let's see. Nope, at my sister's cooking on the grill. One with ribs and one with chicken wings. Mmm, yum, yum. Dude, you got a lot of chickens. A lot of chickens. And I noticed something else. I wanted to say this, Vandal the Land. The one that was getting picked on that has that wobble, you need to keep that chicken or rooster separated from the bullies, because he may or may not ever recuperate if they just keep picking on him. But I've been watching. I can do both, the Paul, says Voon. Voon's just special, isn't she? Oh my goodness, Paul. You are a freshie. Wait till Miss Andale gets her hands on you for that one. I want to try and can chicken chili. I did, not chicken chili, but I did can the chili that you just saw the recipe for this week. I did can the leftovers of that. 90 minutes, I think I did it for him. And I don't even think I felt a tad bit nervous. I was on the phone with Pam, and I told her it was still warm, you know. She did say to add some more beef broth to thin it out a little bit. So I did do that, and I was carrying multiple jars. I couldn't even carry the cases down the steps. And every time I was going down the basement steps to put the jars up on there, I was like, please, God, don't let me fall down these flight of steps, because it's just too heavy for me. I just do so much, you know. But I did take my leftover chili. I think I got 5 jars or 4 quart-sized jars of leftover chili. I kept some for the next day, and then I pressure canned the rest because I knew it would just sit in there. I mean, I don't know, he does that lately, and I'm like, I'm not wasting that. That's considered, well, that's homemade food. You just watched me all make it step by step. And I was like, I'm pressure canning that. And that's exactly what I did. I also see that people do not store correctly. You can't go from extremely hot and humid to freezing. It needs stable temps. I have a ground beef video coming out this week. If you fry the canned hamburger or throw it in a marinara sauce. The beef is good. We eat it in tacos, burritos all the time. It makes life easy. Okay, because even like an 1870s homestead's husband just doesn't like the texture of it. A friend of mine usually pops in here every now and again from Maine. She said it's like dog food. So, yeah, I'll be interested in seeing that because I am going to start working on this refrigerator freezer and start freezing things. Well, bringing it out and pressure canning it. But here's a question for you. If it's frozen, I have to completely let it thaw, right? You can't go frozen in a cold jar and then pressure can it, right? But that sounds really yummy, actually. This group I trust, you all don't do this because it will get you views or is in style. But I see other channels who are questionable. If you're getting a funny feeling or in the pit of your stomach, don't trust it. You know, you have the ball book, you have the home preservation book. Groups like this, even if I can't tell you everything, there's always somebody with a whole lot of knowledge that can help you out, you know. As expensive things are, and as this is just my opinion, we want food security, but you want to do it safely and properly. I'm learning, and if you're getting a funny feeling in your gut, then don't do it. Don't trust it. Hobby Garden for Health. I think I watched Carol Thrifty Chick for canning chili. Oh, I never heard of her. That's true too. Doreen says you have to do what you're comfortable with. So I did tomato, like I did really like pressure canning my tomatoes instead of water bath canning. I barely even pulled it out. If I water bath something, I used my pressure canner as a water bather. 2 jars. Let me think. I have to think a second. And boy, oh boy, did it turn out good. Strawberries, blueberries, and something else. I can't think of it. 2 jars, raspberries, I think it was, that I had in the bag frozen. And I didn't want it like, I don't like pectin. So I avoid all pectin. I don't care if I have to stand there and stir for a while, but look at it, turned out really good. And yeah. So I also did that from a smaller bag. It was mixed fruit. Strawberries, wild blueberries, and it may have been blackberries. But I didn't care if it had the seeds in it because what I'm going to do with this is for desserts. On the top of a cheesecake or maybe a muffin or make some type of cake out of it. So I wanted it the consistency of almost like a gelled preserve, but not quite. I wanted it to still be a little bit movable. So I did get those two. So that's more fruit up on the shelf. Yep. Truth is right. Oh, that was nice. Vandalaland. Guys, show Erin Wade how we do. Go give her some YouTube love. Well, she doesn't have a channel. Fizzles this weekend. Prescriber. She's a subscriber and not a creator. Otherwise, I'd post her link every week. Yeah, it's a slow night tonight. What's going on? Well, hello, Barb's Country Home. How are you, darling? How are you? How are you? How are you? Happy Sunday. I hope you're well. I was trying to ask some of the ladies in here tonight if they knew what kind of squash this was because I don't. And yeah. So that's what that looks like. And a bunch of butternut squash and some big acorn squash. It did really well. This one's a really fat daddy, and the other ones are like real long, but this is like a fat, stumpy, heavy one. So how are you, Barb? How's the chickens? I see that they had watermelon. I gave mine watermelon through the summer because it was so stinking hot here. He got attacked in a cage by a raccoon, so his leg is lame, but he'll be fine. It's the orphanton that feel for, but law of the land, they'll figure it out. That is true. That's true. You're brown. Oh, you brown it first. Okay, yeah, so the ground meat. Yeah, I can't wait to see that video. When you posting that? Welcome in, Barb. There's her link. He actually got attacked in the isolated cage because I separated him once before because he was getting seriously picked on. Oh, that's such a shame. Send her some hugs then. That's very nice. Oh, Paul, he's so fresh tonight. So fresh. Look at you. Oh my goodness. Raspberry yum. Actually, this is blueberry, strawberry, and I think it was blackberries, I want to say. The last batch that I made, it had kale in it. It was for smoothies, but I wanted it out of my freezer. But this I want for over the holidays for desserts and to pour over cheesecakes. But I was showing Miss Doreen, because she's in here, I pressure canned chicken legs. I had 1 jar that broke and 2 that didn't seal. So I got 3. So not too shabby. And that looks awesome, Melody. Yummo. Thank you, Voon. That looks great. It will be great for dessert. That's what I was thinking when I was pulling it out. Like, what should I do with it? I've learned so much from all of you. We love you, Erin. Don't worry, Melody. I'll get him taught. He's so fresh. My goodness. If I lied, you could say I'm in a mood. You should look up the Frizzles if you haven't seen them before. No, I haven't. Those are beautiful squashes. Thank you, Barb. Mount Maple Ranch, hello. Coming in to show some love. Hi, how are you? Welcome in, welcome in. Happy Sunday. Hola. We did 30 quarts of salsa, my favorite thing to can. You did? Well, that sounds yummy. I just have to do a little batch to wrap up my cum salsa, believe it or not, because I already have some, and I didn't really need to make any. And this thing of trying to let my green tomatoes turn to the color, it's like some of them were part yellow, and I feel like as soon as it turns yellow, it's like rotting. So I don't know how that's going to work out. Yes, everyone, please check out Mountain Maple Ranch. They're building a ranch in Idaho. That's exciting. Paul, you're becoming my very favorite YouTube beastie. He's a mess sometimes. He's a fresh one, let me tell you. He's a freshie. I try to Sigma Andel on him. So yeah. So that is what I did. I cleaned all Friday, all Saturday. I had to run out. I went shopping on Friday to get some things. The chickens, their kale. Grab that big old pumpkin that I think I may make. I don't know. Maybe if I chunk it, but see, you got to boil it. And you can't do pumpkin puree in a pressure canner. It would have to be like chunked. Oh, that sucker's heavy. I don't know. Doreen, would you have to like pre-boil it, but still leave it in chunks? It just can't be like pureed, right? That's what I mean, that's an option I could do because I want to make a bunch of pumpkin pies. Have it on hand, you know? Oh, really? Mount Maple Ranch had an awesome harvest video last week. That's awesomeness. Paul says, Andale don't scare me. She's too sweet. She'd probably give me a sugar rush. Oh my goodness. You're a hot mess, Paul. Hello, Chicken Beak Mountain. How are you? Happy Sunday. Happy Sunday. Welcome in. Paul's being a little cray-cray. was only just talking about my first time pressure canning some chicken legs. 1 jar broke and 2 didn't seal, but 3's better than none. That's how I look at it. We pressure pot our pumpkin for dinner today, and the kids pick savory like salt and pepper, cinnamon, and maple syrup. Pressure pot? Pressure can, you mean? Huh. That's interesting. I'm leaving Paul alone. No need to spoil his fun. Miss Angel, you so just threw me under the bus. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. Um, she's so funny. I know what you meant, Chicken Beak Mountain. Happy to have you in here. Happy Sunday. I hope you all had a great weekend. Can't type tonight. Happens to the best of us. I was in Belt Loop, Gary's live earlier today, and I was trying to say congratulations to someone, and it said congratulations to someone else, and he wrote, "Bake, congratulations for what?" And I looked, and I was like, oh no, I'm so sorry. My keyboard just wants to write whatever it wants to write. So yeah, Gary was in there doing some shout outs on some channels today. So I went in there for like a little bit. Yeah, she's putting the crying faces. Miss Andel does not have my back. Okay, let's move on to the next thing. I got all this organic garlic. So I'm thinking I might do garlic in a pot this year because I don't know what's going to concur exactly. So I was wondering if I should do it in pots or just take my chances and put it in the ground. But that's a lot of garlic to peel and get out all the heads. And I have to get, oh, what the heck is it? I'm going to have a total brain fart. Oh, a certain something to put down on the ground. I learned that from Simple Living Alaska. They always use it and they get pretty good garlics. So I absolutely love garlic. Love, love, love garlic. So I got that to do. And do you want to see what I'm looking at right now? Let's keep it real. Realer than real. Because I may not stay on for the full 2 tonight, just because I've been up since 5 o'clock in the morning. So you saw the pumpkin. But let me turn you around and you can see what I have going on. So my harvest, as you can see, is kind of all over the table. And I have like a butternut squash over there, some other squash. Just figured I'd kind of show you what's going on the table. But I have this whole pile, all that down there to clean up and go through. The box over there, I put all my yellow squash and my chickens' kale. I gave them like 1 bunch of it today. And I bought Gala apples, a watermelon. Oh, you already know that I got some little pumpkins, but I'm going to save them for my chickens. So I have all this to still deal with. Zucchinis, and it's all yellow squash over there. So, yep, this is what I'm sitting in. And that's why I sometimes feel a little claustrophobic sometimes. I mean, it looks cute if I set it up to be cute, but I wanted to make sure that I brought the jars over, you know, the herbs to tell you how you can keep them fresh all winter long in your fridge, like for the holidays mainly is what I do it for. So that's here, 2 big jars, 3 jars of chicken legs, my strawberry, blueberry, blackberry. It's not a syrup, so I'm going to say like a preserve for cheesecakes, 2 of those. And then my organic garlic, if I'm going to plant garlic, big old pumpkin, you know. Need some ideas. I definitely want to try to pressure can some pumpkins. So I may need Doreen's help again. And I bought 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 things of Gala apples because I want to look up. Well, I want to make a couple like tarts, apple tarts, but I really want to make apple butter. So I need somebody's really good recipe for apple butter. Okay, Paul. Let's see. Melody cannot wait to see how you use your sauerkraut. Yeah, I mean, does anybody know how long that's been? I took that downstairs. Said 4 weeks in order for it to be done, right? You ever canned garlic? That's something I have not done yet. No, I haven't. Mountain Maple Ranch. I'm kind of, well, not kind of. Voon got me my Presto canner, and I didn't touch it for a year and a half because I was petrified, and then I just got over it. That's why when Boone saw that I did pork loin, she was like, wait, what? So I'm trying to, I mean, I'm more confident in doing it, but sort of like what Paul had said earlier prior to getting here, I'm more of if somebody tells me how to do it or walks me through it, I do better than the actual book, you know. So when it comes to pumpkin and pressure canning that, I definitely am going to have to reach out to someone that has a whole lot more experience than me. And does anyone, because I'm going to keep some for storage, these butternut squashes, but has anyone ever pressure canned butternut squash? Just a curiosity question. And then all the apples that I got, buku, apple butter. I need a recipe for that. And then I am going to do a recipe, I'll share it on here, of just like, sort of like an apple tart, like square. Just wait, I'll show you. But I like my apples actually cooked. I don't like them hard. But no, I've never canned garlic though. I wonder if you could. Melody, cannot wait. Okay, I did that one. It's a great thing. So much bounty. Good for you, Mel. Oh, thank you, Miss Andel. I just made apple pie filling and applesauce. It's yummy. Well, applesauce is on my list because I love applesauce, but do you have like a family recipe you'd be willing to share? Um, yeah, I would pressure can some. Well, do you have to pressure can applesauce? So yeah, applesauce, that's another good one. Oh, you have not, Sisterine? Okay. I have not canned squash. Okay. I've only canned sweet potatoes, no pumpkin, sorry. Well, I mean, I've seen it on regular canners, not like Rebel canners. Um, it said you have to chunk it. I just forget the process. Like, I think it might have been boiled for like a little bit, blanched, but it has to be like big chunky pieces. You can't go and boil it and then puree it, put it in a jar and pressure can it. That I did learn. So, apple butter is super easy and super delicious. We'll share a recipe, darling. Holy cow. $13.49 for an apple pie, Erin, when I could have made one. Ooh, I bet you were mad. She wanted to knock her husband upside of his head. Ouch. Barely any apples. Too sweet. I was POD'd. Ooh, I bet you were, love. I'm so sorry. Sorry to hear that. But, you know, guys make mistakes. I guess he's going to get a free pass on that one, but that's an expensive pie. He thought it was $3.49. Okay, well, then he gets a free pass because, you know, our eyesight starts going. Just as what it is. Honestly, I just put tasty stuff in there, plus what the book said. I tasted it until I liked it, and I didn't measure. Sorry. Miss Andell's so, like, I don't know. I don't know. Blunt, forward is like the word. Miss Andell, is it in... Nope. Where's my other book? Let me see, because I'm always losing this other book. Is it in this one for applesauce? And is there apple butter in here? So yeah, so I have a little food haul, which is weird because I couldn't use the table for my food haul. So I'll debate if I'm going to post that or not. Definitely have the chicken video, doing the chicken legs. You already saw the chili. And I may have done a short on pressure canning your leftovers, which would have been my chili. Oh, it is in this one too, and the bowl. Yeah, I seem to like this one just a tiny bit better. Look at the first page. I just flicked it. I couldn't make that up. Potatoes, sweet. Pieces are whole. Huh. That's funny. She was just talking about that. Yeah, I gotta look in this. I wonder if it's in alphabetical order. Well, there's pears. So yeah, I definitely want to do apples. Um, I don't know if I bought enough for all that, but I know I wanted to do apple butter, at least a few jars. I'm figuring like maybe 4 or 5 of the half pints. Applesauce, I would probably want to get, I don't know, probably 10 if I can stop eating it. Because I could probably eat applesauce once a week. That could be pretty scary. I might have to go get some more apples to do applesauce. But we'll see. I actually got a really good deal on the Gala apples. That's why I bought them, because my apple trees didn't give me apples this year. It's got a bunch of apple recipes. Cool. I will definitely check this out. This is the book that I had won from Time to Grow, right, Miss Andale? So I got to keep that handy. And I will look that over for sure. So what's left outside to do, folks? Beans are still in. Well, I have beans in the kitchen I have to handle. Don't know what I'm going to do with the rest of the green tomatoes. Well, the ones that are ripening, they're just like turning quick, which is very weird. I never experienced that before. Lots of herbs to deal with. I have a lot more to harvest on herbs out there. Beans. I have to get the rest of the green tomatoes off the back plants and get them ripped out. I did, which that reminds me, I want to get that in the freezer. I took the rest of my eggplant, I sliced some, and I diced some and put some lemon juice in there. I want to pop that in the freezer so I could pull it out, fry it up, and just put it on my pasta. But then I really have to get to all this yellow squash, my fall harvest of yellow squash and zucchini. I have to get to that first. There's like, everything's like a first. The beans need to be dealt with, you know. Debbie had some type of a stomach bug last week, so she wasn't around. And then it was just a little chaotic here, and I just had a lot of stuff to do, and busy, busy, busy. Aren't we all, though, right? Let's see. I got a bunch of apple recipes. Nice. Well, can you share either your apple butter or applesauce? Pick one, or Boone can share her apple butter. Because I want to do that in a crock pot, because I see people do that all the time and it looks super duper easy. So, yeah, as far as this week is concerned, I really have to like hightail it, you know, and try to get the rest of things harvested and put up. So that's going to be quite interesting. But I did the living room, the hallway, Trin's room, the bathrooms, the kitchen, the dining room. I mean, even scrubbed the floors and all that jazz. And we'll see how my roommate does of keeping it clean. I still have my room to do, because, you know, I'm always last on the totem pole. But we're going to have like a 70-dayer this week. Our low last night went into the 40s, but we haven't technically gotten our first frost. We've gotten low, but we did not get to freezing. I mean, chilly willy here at night. So I think we probably got about a week left. So I have to finish doing what I have to do outside, get that all harvested, keep putting things up, away, you know, however you just want to say it. So it's just going to be a busy week for sure. And I could really use a vacation. I did put Red Silo Homestead on my community tab, or the KY Grow Lab. Caught up on some of his videos today. He and his wife Justine, and I posted his channel on my community tab for extra support for that Kentucky Grow Lab. What a setup he's got going on, boy, oh boy. I even texted them to see if he could help me with the, you know, how to pre-schedule a live, even if it was on YouTube. And he said we never went live ever once. And I was like, wow, lucky you. He says, Justine says hi. I'm like, oh, I miss you. And that was the extent of our conversation. So, hi, LP. How are you? Welcome in, welcome in. My green tomatoes are turning fast inside ever since I said I'd freeze fried greens. Sheesh. Hope you're all well. I guess you better freeze them now or do something with them, right? I feel like the ones that were part ripe that I picked and brought in, they're the ones that are spoiling quick. So I don't know, and I don't need any salsa verde. So if anybody has any ideas what to do with some green tomatoes, I just might maybe go that route. How about like a green relish or like a green tomato relish, LP? Um, so yeah, so that's kind of what's been going on. Just a busy bee, and still not scared. I'm still not scared, but in all honesty, I have to open a jar of meat and eat it for sure. So I have not done that. I didn't do the pork loin yet, and yeah. So green tomato relish is tasty. Is it really? Huh. Could be an idea. And part of me just feels like I'm just over it. I know that sounds terrible, but that's just kind of how I feel. Because I still have another bucket of, I have a bowl to deal with peppers, which I think I'm just going to grind them all up. And then I have peppers that are in my Home Depot bucket that I didn't see because something was put on top of it, I think, by my roommate. So I have to deal with those tomorrow. I will do my chicken video tomorrow. And I also did their coop for the winter because I couldn't get hay or straw. So I just did the bedding, which was recommended to me. So I did a quick little video on that too, of getting them ready for the winter time. But no eggs yet, my friends. No eggs yet. The only thing that they're missing is the black oiled sunflower seeds. You got the wrong bag. And then Thomas said he was going to go to Tractor Supply for me on Friday, but then he was sick. So hopefully within the next week or so, they get their sunflower seeds. But they are starting to be balking a little bit more. They're usually fairly quiet. So I think any day they're just like squawking at me like real loud, or they're in their thing and they're squawking. So hopefully the only place they could hide an egg would be in the deep bedding that I put inside their coop. I was up at 5 o'clock this morning and turned the light on out there about 5:30ish. 5:30, 5:45, I turned the light on. As soon as I opened the thing, well, I didn't even put the light on yet, but as soon as I pulled the door, they were wide awake and ready to run out. I'm just trying to subsidize about an hour and a half to 2 hours worth of lighting in the morning. But I don't know about this whole 5 o'clock in the morning thing every morning. I was up later last night. Like I said, I was up late Friday, busy the entire weekend, not a minute to myself that I even forgot to eat. And then I was busy with my son Jarrett last night. So I'm still here. I just made some cookies. Oh, what kind of cookies? Yum, Gavin. I've been in the background too, baking and filming. Ciabatta bread. I love ciabatta bread. Yeah, so what do you all think if I end early? Will you be like extremely disappointed? I mean, I'm just gonna keep it real. Actually, I don't even know why I did that. Ow, I just hurt my back again. I want to keep this out because of the factor I was up so early. I'm like a little on the exhausted side. I have to get my videos ready for this week. Tomorrow is going to be the chickens, of course. And yeah, just some family stuff going on, everyone. So yeah, so I just wanted to show you all my goodness, and if anybody can help me out on pumpkins or squash or butternut, greatly appreciate it. Looking forward to Doreen's ground beef marinara. That would be awesome. Then I might be willing to try that. I want to get a lot of things out of that freezer, a lot of that chicken, and just cook it up. So yeah, and I think I just want to kind of like chill out and relax tonight. So let me see. Oh, chocolate chip. Mom let you bake chocolate chip cookies. Oh, this sounds so good. Send me over some. Hope everyone has a great week, says Erin. I'm sure you all understand. You know I'm always on here too, 2:05, but do you see me? I'm like beat tired. I want to just kind of like kick back, relax, and go through my book and get ready for like another just, I think, extremely busy day tomorrow and getting everything harvested. So tomorrow will be the chickens. I have the bedding video for this week, and well, my chickens is tomorrow. And then Doreen, thank you so much for doing that. And there's my chicken legs. So that's awesome sauce. And stay tuned for the video on how to preserve. I gave you all already the tidbit, but if you don't mind watching it, on how to save your herbs throughout the holiday season for your turkey, your holiday cooking. Get those herbs, and just as long as you don't have anything in the bottom, don't fill this all the way up with water too, by the way, my friends. And just make sure you dump it, change it out every 2-3 days. And then Doreen said, no, I was getting ready to sign off. I hope everyone has a great rest of their evening. Oh, thank you, Doreen. Thank you so much for coming. Get your stuff done and get some rest. Thank you, Chicken Beak Mountain. Paul said he's back. Welcome back, Paul. That fella, don't forget to check for the kraut. Yep, I have to check the date. Get you some rest, Melody. Yeah, on the sauerkraut. I mean, I know what you meant. I love you, Aaron, to pieces. Sorry, Ola. Couldn't find the acre video, but Simple Living Alaska did a garlic canning video. Yeah, that would be awesome, because I don't think I have enough honey to spare to do the fermented garlic. So I'll have to look that up too. But thank you for the effort though, Paul. I really do appreciate that. Mountain Maple Ranch. Okay, check out their videos. Make sure, you know, we had like a low-key kind of evening in the live tonight. I think a lot of people are maybe just as tired as I am. I just know here between back-to-back Philadelphia Phillies games and them going to the World Series and all this cleaning I've been doing, I don't need to make excuses. I'm just tired. I work really hard for YouTube, and I work really hard for here. And love yous all to pieces. And yeah, I think I'm going to hold this up. But listen, I have to not be scared of what I'm pressure canning. I have to be able to eat it. So stay tuned for that. I'm going to pop something open. Maybe my chili. Maybe that'll make it easier for me. Because you know how everybody has that feeling like the first time they go to feed their family, they think they're going to kill them? Yeah, I had that thought. A lot of us are knackered right now, Mel. Good. So, Paul, you go get some headset or something in those ears of yours. You go get some rest. Miss Andale, Voon, Paul, moderators, per usual, thank you so much. Doreen, everyone that came in or watches us back, I greatly appreciate it. Just time to get some rest and start the week off again. So, on that note, I love you all. And I'll see you soon. Stay safe. Stay well. Because I just saw something that came up about China that just distracted me. Stay safe. Stay well. Keep doing the best that you can do. Keep preparing. And love you all. God bless. And go Phillies. Hopefully, they'll win the Super Bowl. I mean, see, I'm tired. Hopefully they'll win the World Series. As of right now, they're going to the World Series. Sorry, folks, I'm delirious. But love you. Mwah, from Pennsylvania. I will see you next Sunday and throughout the week. Bye, everyone.